Yeah, I just know what we're doing now.
Great to see, Cam. So thank you indeed. We've just got our other boys here on the dummy grid, and we'll talk about them afterwards. But at the moment, it's over to Spider and a update for our next race.
All right, lining up as they sit on the grid. This is where they've qualified. We've got Sloan Frost on the Suzuki, we've got James Smith on the Honda, and then we've got Tony Rees on another Honda, and that is Scotty Boyer there on another Suzuki there. So, and John Ross here, 5th place on the Suzuki. They're off, and this is going to be, I think, it says it's only a 5-lap race, but it's going to be a little bit longer. It's at least a 10-lap race here for the first of the Superbike races of this season. We've already seen some action at the Magical Suzuki Series, and not all the New Zealand Championship competitors are out there in the Suzuki Series. So this is the first time we see them all in their colours, and that looks to me, as they go through the icon quarter, number 77, the local man James Smith. Talked to him yesterday. He says, I'm not going to ride too hard today. In fact, he didn't do a lot of riding because he's had the flu. And then in the first session, he was the quickest and qualified second. It is looks to be like Sloan Frost. Sloan Frost is one of the easiest and the hardest of bikes to pick up in second place there. One side of his bike is blue on the Suzuki GSXR1000, and one side is red on the TSS Red Baron machine. So right now, we're just going to work out, is that indeed him? And in second spot, we're looking out in third spot, and it looks to me like the number 11 of Tony Rees, the Wakatani man, who's had such a sensational season this year. And Sloan is in sixth spot, I believe. Yeah, sorry. Is that it? Oh, is that Andrew Stroud there in second? All right, we've got 3 Stroud kids in there in the commentary box. The commentary box will only take 4 people, and there's 3 Stroud of the 10, and it is definitely Andrew Stroud there in second place. So, okay, like I said, it was a bit difficult to recognise the bike from one side, but now we can see the big lanky Stroud leg. The man that's got the style all to his own there, and simply because of his size really reminds me of Roger Freeth, right back from the 70s and the 80s, with the big frog leg hanging out the side. So there it is. In fact, Andrew Stroud, the 9-time New Zealand Superbike champion, leads down the front straight for the first time. He had a bit of a lacklustre Suzuki Series. He didn't do Wanganui. I didn't see the Hampton Down rounds, but certainly at Manfield he was sitting there sort of ho-hum back in about 7th and 8th place, but that was just the day it was for Andrew Stroud. There he is, wearing the number 10 on his bike and breaking loose as well. He's going into the icon corner. There's probably 12 bike lengths between first and second, and that is James Smith in second, Tony Rees in third. As I say that, Tony Rees has just been passed, I think, either by it is Sloan Frost. Yes, Scotty Moyes a couple of places down there. I see the difference now. Yeah, definitely Scotty Moyes a bit further down. So, in fact, that's Al Hoogie in third place. It's, Jacob, why don't you grab a set of earphones here? He's talking to me here. How you going, young Jacob Stroud, and how was your race? How was your race?
Wasn't the best, you know, just decided to get a false neutral, but that's all right. I don't need to finish.
All right, we're on to Superbikes. That's your dad out there in first place. He's checked out into the distance, and we got James Smith there in second spot, followed by Al Hoogie in third spot. Last year's 600cc champion, and just about dominated the season last year in the 600. Decided to move up into the Superbike class, and in fourth place, that is Sloan Frost, followed by, I think, Tony Rees, and then maybe Scotty Boyer. Or is there someone else in between there? John Ross will be amongst that lot as well. Just trying to pick up the colours. It's quite a distance there to see them, and so we're still working out who's on what colour bike, actually.
James Smith's just got a bike pop with his hand up, and it does not get clicked by anyone, which is always a good sign.
Talking about lap times, we got a lap record of 1:30. We're running in the 1:32s at the moment. The fastest man on the track is also the man that's out in the front, the Pirelli shot GSXR1000, also sponsored by the Nelson Classic Motorcycle Museum, a new sponsor on board for Andrew Stroud. He's been out of the sport for a couple of seasons at the Superbike level. He's been playing around on the classic bikes and the post-classic bikes, and decided to come back at the Superbike level to try and get a 10th New Zealand Championships. And look at him right out there in the front where he belongs. He spent many a time out in the front here, and certainly enjoying his racing. Do you think James Smith can reel him in there, Jacob Stroud?
We got Sloan Frost in second now. James is looks like he doesn't look too bad, but he's going around very slowly in about 8th or 9th now. And John Ross just hit the fastest lap in about 6th place. So it should be interesting because Sloan's caught all out to Andrew now, so it's going to be, looks like a good race from here on out.
Okay, they go into the dipper again for, we've got 8 laps to go, so we're on the second or third lap, and it is Andrew Stroud. John Ross has, Sloan Frost is closed right up there. Right up there. There's going to be a change of position. What has happened to that Honda of James Smith on the 77 machine? No idea, sorry. We'll have to talk to them later on. We hope to get one of our pit spies there to go down and have a chat to them. Running just in the 132s. We're now at the 131.6 mark. And that is Andrew Stroud gone through there in the 131.6 mark. And our screen keeps changing here. So, Jacob, we've got a bite now. That's James Smith pulling off, is it?
Yeah, James' bike's finally given up on him. And Sloane's just gone back into the 130, so 130.8, which is about a second off lap record, but it's still pretty quick around here.
Yeah, that means he's going to be reeling him in. He's going to be reeling them. We see the lead of the Superbikes over there at the hairpin. It is still Stroud, followed by the Sloane Frost machine. In third place is the Al Hugenbosom. So it is Hamilton, followed by Wellington, followed by Canterbury. We had Canterbury in an earlier class today, but it is indeed spread all around the country for those first three placings. And looking out into fourth place as well, Jacob. So in fact, Jacob, we're looking for a change in the lead almost.
Oh,
Sloane Frost tries up on the inside there.
He's definitely trying, that's for sure. Yeah, John Ross is into fourth, just gone past Tony Rees now.
Yep.
Oh, and Sloane's just off the inside going into the dipper. Caught him by surprise there. That's a bit of an Aaron Hesson move from the last race there.
That was the corner before the dipper, and not a usual place to pass. Most people are trying to capitalise it and line up into the dipper to actually make the major move, but maybe caught Andrew Stroud there napping a bit. Okay, we'll see what he can come back with, but right now it is Sloane Frost on the Suzuki GSXR1000, the Fujitsu sponsor machine, and absolutely flying down there. He's probably got 12 bike lengths as they go over the start-finish line, so he might disappear onto the distance. He was the fastest man on the track last lap. In fact, he's running at a 131.2, and Andrew Stroud's running at a 131.8. So if we see this multiply over the next, well, we've got 6 laps to go, it might change things a bit. 0.6 of a second, blah, 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 but it doesn't look like that on the track, though, Jacob. Andrew is coming back and closing up there, coming into the hairpin. Do you think he'll go up on the inside or the outside?
No, he's looking to square it off, try and get him on the outside, but it's Sloane's got a bit too much drive out of there.
And what about that Honda in third place there?
Yeah, we've got John Ross is definitely reeling in Al for third, and they're definitely not too far away from Dad and Sloane, so if they start holding each other up, then it could be a four-way for the lead.
And we slip back to about 6th place as well. We've got another Hugenbosom there, running Bridgestone tyres this year. In fact, another Hugenbosom and another 600 rider moving up into the Superbikes. We've got 3 this year. We've got Toby Summers, we've got Al Hugenbosom, and we've got James Hugenbosom as well. And James Hugenbosom's on the 85, the BMW M1000. This is a bike that's actually won a couple of races at the New Zealand Superbike Championship level. Basically, what James has been doing it off-season, testing at various tracks around the countryside. I expect better things of him as he progresses. Sometimes the guy progresses a bit slowly, but slowly catching monkey, and it's better than splatting yourself on the road, isn't it, Jacob?
Yeah.
You've done that a couple of times this season.
Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding.
Back out in the front, and maybe 120 metre lead between number 1 and number 2. That's number 3 bike on the track, Sloane Frost on the Suzuki, followed by Andrew Stroud. Then it's Al Hugenbosom in third place, and great battle there, Jacob.
John Ross just went round the outside of Al Hugen into turn 1, and I don't pass anyone. That is one of the fastest corners you'll ever go into on a superbike, and then John just went round the outside of Al into turn 1.
Yeah, that's incredible racing, and they're both locals, of course. Al Hugenbosom, there's 3 Hugenbosoms here racing this weekend. Of course, we mentioned brother James. There's also Matthew Hugenbosom, who's running in the Superlight class, I think, or is he running in the 600 production? Supersport.
Matthew's in Superlight with me.
Superlight, yeah, that's right. Has he got one of these 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder things?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay, 3 of the Hoogie boys doing it, and the rest of the family around the pits carrying sandwiches around or working for the Canterbury Motorcycle Club. It's great to have the family here doing so much. Sloane Frost going through the right-hander there in the IndyCars corner, and seems to be all on his own at the moment, but the big battle is on for second, third and fourth. It is Andrew Stroud, followed closely. Did we get a change of position there? In fact, we didn't know. John Ross is there, and right in behind him is Al Hugenbosom. So that's 3 bikes. There's probably 2 bike lengths between each of those bikes having a battle. Tony Rees is having a big battle there as they come out of the dipper with Scotty Moyer. Scotty Moyer, the Taupo man on the GSXR1000, the Penny Home GSXR1000, and Tony Rees from Wakatani on the Honda CBR12000. This is the man that won all 3 Formula 1 races at the Cemetery Circuit this year and done oh so well, and won again the Robert Holt Memorial Race, the most coveted trophy outside the New Zealand Championship at the Cemetery Circuit this year, or just gone, and only a few weeks ago at Christmas for Boxing Day. And also he went down and cleaned up at the circuits, all the circuits I think down at Teretonga for the Teretonga, well, it's not the Wyndham Street Races, the Invercargill Street Races and the hill climb for the Burt Munro Challenge in November. So he's been on a motorbike, racing motorbike, just about him and his son Damon, just about more weekends than I've been off them at this time of the year. It certainly shows that his riding style is polished and polished, but wouldn't have expected him to be back in about 7th or 8th place, Jacob.
He definitely rode really well at Honolulu, and yeah, it's a bit of a surprise, but that battle for 3rd is definitely heading out with 4 laps to go, and really John's might have a go at the inside here, but no, Dad should be easy. Yep, yeah, it's good. Yeah, you definitely don't get much closer than that though, and yeah.
Okay, in second spot there, we've got Sloane Frost disappeared off out in the distance, but the battle is all on there for the minor podium thing. Andrew Stroud half a bike length, and then John Ross, and then Al Hugenbosom there. John Ross gets a bit of a break on Al Hugenbosom's going to close up there. They're both trying round the outside, coming onto the front straight, absolutely trying, but Andrew Stroud, does he push him wide there, Jacob?
No, Dad's having a bit of, Andrew Stroud's having a bit of grip problems out of the last corner, but John Ross is going to go a signature around the outside turn 1. That'd be a little bit interesting. I don't think had many people have done that to him.
No, definitely. I mean, how many times he's been round to Ruapuna, the man has won. When was his first New Zealand Superbike champion? Do you remember?
I wasn't born then, so.
Yeah, but you must have looked up the history books here. I can't remember. It was the mid-90s, I think, when he first became New Zealand Superbike champion, and has taken it 9 times. Retired for a couple of seasons back out there, and showing us with a bit of class there that he could lead a race there, and certainly in a good solid second spot. In fact, he's cutting a bit of a gap there. We've got 3 laps to go here at Ruapuna for the first Superbike race of the season. And Sloane Frost in the front there, of course. Andrew Stroud, John Ross, both match bikes there. It's all up to who's got the biggest nads on the right corner, I think.
Yeah, John Ross definitely looking up the inside every time we come into the right-hand and back into the infield. But Andrew seems to be able to hold him off pretty well.
Definitely, and you know, certainly at this level you can hear the bikes. There's James Hugenbosom trying for a looking up on the inside as well. Al Hugenbosom trying for a look up and inside on the Honda. So it's all action, all plenty of fireworks. It's closer and closer every lap. We saw 2 bike lengths between second and third, 2 bike lengths between third and fourth 2 laps ago. Well, it just got tighter and tighter. We're down to half a bike length now, and we're seeing them coming onto the front straight. There it is, Sloane Frost on the Fujitsu GSX-R1000. Check it out there down that front straight. He's the only man in the 131s. The lap records at a 130, but he's the only man in the 131s. Who's the quickest of those next 3 riders? Have disappeared off the screen, so we'll look at the screen in a minute. But into turn 1 here, and it's anybody's game. Is that Andrew Stroud out in the front? It still is, with John Ross still giving it a shot. And then we got the Honda there. They spread out a little bit going into the ICOP corner. This is a corner that makes some race fit. Didn't we have Tony Rees come off here last year as well? And he doesn't crash very often, but he had a big crash there, and I think the New Zealand Grand Prix last year. Actually, he had 3 crashes last year here at the New Zealand Superbike Champions. Let's not put the commentator curse on Tony Rees there on the number 11 Honda.
Yeah, so John Ross definitely close enough on Andrew Stroud there, and Al Hugen's a little bit further back, but John is all over him. I mean, he's every single quarter he's looking for the inside move.
Well, Ross had a real difficult season last year. He had a massive crash in, I think, the first race of the season, just where they are now. And I mean, I didn't expect the guy to stand up. He got back on his bike. He's got one of those airbags that inflates for his son. He had that inflated, and he continued round and still managed to score some points. But I think he'd taken a big bang on his head, and he suffered for the rest of the season. Just wasn't riding very well. So another thing about John Ross is he's beat the Stroud family. They've got a new addition. Liam, I think, was born about the 19th of December. New addition to the family, so got a new young son there to assist brother to Amelia. Speaking of Liams, we've got Hayden Fitzgerald's not in the field. First time for a lot of years we haven't had Hayden Fitzgerald in the New Zealand Superbike. About the same time his wife had a baby and also called Liam. So Jacob Stroud,
yeah,
we'll get on the babies. And
yeah, it's the last lap, and John has tried that last round the outside move for the last time, and it just has not paid off for him. But he's got the drive out, and he's going to pull alongside, and he's just straight through John Ross in the second.
Mate, do you think he's been setting us up and just watching and thinking, right, I'll just follow the old dog for it?
Yeah, John Ross running wide, Andrew under the brakes, see if we can get him around the outside. It's not really going to work around there.
Into the air, but well, you got to try everywhere. We are on the last lap. The white flag is out. Sloane Frost, he's done his race almost. He's just riding a good, consistent race. The only man in the 31s, but all eyes are on second, third, and fourth on the track for whose battle it is. It is John Ross in second place at the moment as he goes into the casino, Christchurch Casino carousel there. Andrew Stroud there, but don't forget that Alistair Hookenboozem's done many laps around there. He may be sitting there and he might have worked out where Andrew Stroud has a weak spot here at Ruapuna, although he has been sitting 2 bike lengths behind him, 2 positions behind him most of it. He tries up on the inside here as they go into the left-hand adjust, 2 corners before the dipper. The final lap, the first New Zealand Superbike Championship race here for the 2016 series, sponsored by Underground Brown. We're looking around the big sweeper and it is Sloane Frost coming down for a charge in the start-finish straight. In fact, how's he doing? He's taking a win, a big wheelie across the straight. That shows you how much he up his sleeve. Second place, it is going to be Canterbury's John Ross, followed by, there goes Johnny Ross on the Suzuki on the circuit asphalt machine, followed by Andrew Stroud and James Hoogenboozem. Alistair Hoogenboozem, sorry folks. Scotty Moyer goes through on the number 7 bike there. We're looking off into the distance in the first of the Beamers. In fact, the only Beamer, and this is James Hoogenboozem there on the number 85 machine. They carried their old season number.